So welcome everybody to this open Zoom meeting. Constance, sweetheart, Florida State. I hear it's hot. Chris, also hot with you guys. Amor, nice to see you again. Long time no seen. Tony, I would say Tony Chocoloni, but I like it, Tony Chocoloni. It's a brand. You know it?
No, it sounds great.
It's a brand of chocolate here. We call it Tony Chocoloni. It's good,
It's
actually.
Italian.
I don't know if it's Italian, but it's Tony Chocoloni. I sent you a picture of you. You can use it as a Facebook picture. Rosa, sweetheart.
Mwah, sweetheart. What a
Michael,
joy.
brother. Mark, what the hell are you smiling for? Your face is frozen, Mark, like a smiling guy. Big smile there. We can keep it that way. So welcome everybody. Yeah, this is it. This is the highlight. This is the moment. This is it. Sitting in front of a screen. Tuesday morning, day, night. Simply the directness of what is. A meeting again, sitting here. And there's always just simply what is, you know, being dissatisfied with this so-called life, or with the job, or with the kids, or with the marriage, not liking your husband, not liking your wife, thinking your kids are annoying, thinking it's all just a waste of time and life is not giving you what you want, being totally dissatisfied, or not, it's just simply this already. So there's just the directness of whatever is. Talking heat wave, about air conditionings, about taking DMT, interest to take DMT, you know, this curiousness to take drugs, or, well, I've done that shit, I'm not so interested anymore. It's all just simply what's happening. And it may flip, you know, it may flip and turn. And there's nothing wrong with whatever's happening. At the same time, thinking taking drugs is a bad thing is equally just this. There's nothing wrong with thinking that you better should not take drugs, or, you know, not being interested in having friendship with people who are wasted the whole time. So that's just simply what is happening. That's always just simply what is happening. At least that is just as far as it seems. I mean, who knows this, right? So here I can only say, as far as it seems, there's a sitting here in front of a screen, and there are some familiar faces, which I have seen before. And I like the characters. That's it. Nothing more to it. It's simple. It's easy. At the same time, it can be very complicated. It's so easy that it becomes complicated, I would almost say. Yeah, so we can say there's just, I made a post, there's just a presence. We can say there's just a presence in the shape of anger, resentment, you know, liking, disliking, hating, loving. Wondering. tumbles down. And there's no one outside of this scope, so to say, as you separated outside of this, hidden as a doer, as the seer, as a knower. So this question came up the other day: is there awareness? You know, many people seem to awareness. I talked about this with Michael. Awareness seems to be a dirty word, you know, in so-called non-duality community. At the same time, you know, I can say, well, here there is awareness of so-called awareness. Let I put it that way, of sitting in a room and talking to a computer and seeing faces. But there's no one separate. Wait, sorry, I was reading a message. There's no one separate. There's no one actually who is separate to be aware. We can say there's just awareness. I know this word is not so much liked in so-called radical non-duality meetings. Some meetings even you're kicked out or whatever. You know, people start fighting you when you say something, when you use certain words like awareness or consciousness. Everybody get upset. Well, that's it too. So yeah, just this talking, sitting in front of a screen. Nothing more to it. There's no path to this. I mean, at the same time, thinking there's a path to this is this already. So I was wondering here, what's up? Let me start with Constance. Constance, anything coming up there which you want to share? Rosa is having a blast, so probably there's maybe something going on.
Yeah. So there's been like this week has been like a total rejection of this message for some reason, trying to watch videos and not wanting to watch videos. And then people sending me things about consciousness and slamming those down because it's like just total full-on rejection of everything. I don't know. It's just what's happening, I guess. But it's interesting how this, I don't know, whatever this is. It's just interesting. But then when I hear your voice, Sander, I think it's like coming home. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. It's just craziness. I don't know. It's just what's happening. Not being able to explain it. Maybe there's nothing to explain. It's just what's happening.
Yeah, and you know, trying to explain it or not being able is what's happening. That's it. I mean, even the trying to, you know, I get it, slamming the computer and, you know, not liking certain messages or suggestions or whatever it's been called. Some seem to call it concepts. I mean, it's all just words dancing around. It's not so much about the words. At the same time, finding certain words important and other not important, or liking certain words or not. It's already just what is, so to say. I saw a lot of posts of people. I think Klaus was writing, it's just this, are you not getting bored? I think he was like reacting to a post in the Michael community. Well, yeah, and getting bored. Yeah, you know, I mean, I get it. Getting bored. So here, there's also, you know, from time to time, there's just boredom, even with the words stumbling out of this face. There's a boredom, you know. at the same time, there doesn't seem to be an issue with it. So there's no issue with boredom or getting sick of the same message, although it just falls out of this phase. You can easily say, well, just stop it. But yeah, it doesn't seem to stop for now.
It seems
Or-
more like a battle here than boredom. It seems like a battle. It's like wanting to hear the message, but something doesn't want to hear the message and rejecting it and then wanting to hear. It seems more of a battle here than like I said, than boredom.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, what to say? I mean,
Nothing.
what's the problem? I would almost ask, what's the problem with the battle?
It's tiring. It's tiring. It's wearing me out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it, you know, it's wearing you out, and you know, there's a tiredness. And then again, you know, we can ask, well, what's the problem with tiredness? I mean,
I'm
it's
not
so
gonna-
naturally already just getting tired or bored or battling.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's understand it's a conceptual understanding again that it's just this, but that doesn't help me.
No.
Yeah. All right, it'll end when it ends, or it may not ever end. That's also an understanding. I'm gonna go on a vacation, I think.
On a real vacation or on a non-duality meeting holiday? Are you going to take a vacation somewhere, or are you going to take a vacation from all this?
I guess
Which is
there's no
just
escaping this, so why it's like being on vacation. This is gonna be it too, so there's no escaping it.
Connie, sweetheart, you jump over here and we are going to have fun. No
Okay.
thoughts of non-duality anymore, believe me.
Okay. Food and music.
Yeah, full on.
Okay, I'm gonna book my flight to Frankfurt.
And Connie, you said that you've been sort of not, correct me if I'm wrong, that you haven't been really feeling the video, the speakers. But there's really nothing here to gain in these meetings. You know, it's a group of friends getting together, a group of lovely people. But non-duality, Mormonism, Catholicism, Hinduism, it's just all isms. And there's really nothing to gain. And somebody may appear to gain something, but there's already nobody gaining anything. And somebody disagreeing and thinking that there is somebody gaining something, as Sander would say, is just simply this. I mean, there's really nothing to it. Or maybe there's everything to it, right, Sander?
Yeah,
I
at the
mean,
same time, it's everything. Yeah, yeah, completely. Yes.
that's why I call it the shit show. It just goes in circles. It's just like, but it's already like an empty circle of just, you know, I'm gonna watch this non-duality speaker and learn something, as if there's somebody growing and becoming liberated, or there's something special that somebody has that you also want. But it's almost like freeing for nobody when the realization comes that there's really nothing to gain, that there's nobody to even have this realization. There's just an appearance of somebody having a realization, and words are just words, you know. I'm open to sitting. I mean, if somebody invited me to a Mormon meeting, I would sit in it. It's just words. Nothing wrong with anything. So I'll end it with that.
Yeah,
Gotta go, guys. Thank you for the invite, Sander. It was nice seeing all of you guys.
Thanks some more.
yeah, it was nice seeing you,
Maybe we'll
Amar.
talk, maybe we'll talk later, Amar.
You going to Zoom out already?
Yeah, I have a busy day and I'm sweating. It's super hot here, so I gotta go. I gotta get home and I got shopping to do. So,
Great.
all right. Have a
Let
good
me
one,
know
guys.
when you're done. Let me know when you're done and we can connect.
Yep, I'll send you a message. I'll talk to you guys later.
Be safe.
I'd like to share something if it's okay.
Of course, Mark.
I was I was home visiting my parents this weekend, and for some reason I was just crying a lot. Like I think there was a lot of how do you say, like a lot of sadness or just emotions in the stories with my parents, or just a lot of sadness coming up somehow. And yeah, I was thinking about that they were gonna die someday, and not just and my brothers were gonna die. Like we're all gonna die, and like yeah, I think that just made me really sad, and yeah, just cried like a baby really for some time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe, I don't know, but if I say everyone can relate, maybe, to this so-called insight, I would say, that it's ending,
Mm.
so-called parents, they die. That's it. That, the end. And sometimes you hear people say, well, there is no end. Well, in a way, I would say there isn't an end for a separated you, but whatever, this will end, there will be an end as far as it seems. But it's not an end for you as a separated you outside of this. I mean, in a way, it's already ending. Yeah, and being sad, when you think about losing parents or loved ones, it's quite natural, actually. It's just what's happened, so to say. In a way, we all have to deal with loss, but there's no separated someone dealing with it. At the same time, there's dealing with the loss of loved ones, but there's no one separate having a loved one. But dealing with loss, or with the idea that I will lose someone is this too. And it can be terrible.
Yeah.
You want to say something, Rosa?
How do
Sorry.
you know, sweetheart? How do you know?
Well, many hours, I would say, many hours talking with you. And then you get this,
I love it. I love it. Marky boy, here, what's popping up is so beautiful, the idea. And then the sadness coming up. Wow. Wow. And then full on sadness. And then, oh shit, why am I sad? I forgot why am I sad? Ah, okay. So what is this without any idea? Full on sadness. Not even this, full on emotion. And then it switched maybe to joy for no reason. Why am I joyful now? Oh yeah, I saw rainbow. This is like coming and going, coming and going. What a beauty. What a beauty.
Yeah.
But it can seem just devastating, it can seem so, I don't know. It's just so like so unbearable. But yeah, I know.
Yes.
Just this, Mark, simple. Full on terrible.
Hmm.
I love your smile.
So I was visiting some friends this weekend, and they're from India, and there was like a traditional dance. Like half a day, there was a dance. And the kids were performing, and there were many people performing, and suddenly also tears starts flowing, you know, from the face. I was like, God damn, getting all emotional here by seeing people dance. You know, it was really at some time, you know, at one moment even there was a trying to swallow away the tears. I'm like, what? You know, they just came, they rolled down the face a couple of times. And it was not really, it was not sadness. I don't know. It was just, you know, just tears rolling down, and there was amazement at the same time. And there was a so-called seeing of this, you know, but there's no one separated, you know, there's no separated seer. At the same time, there was a wondering and a seeing of the tears rolling down and then reflecting, all just happening innocently. You know, and suddenly it can hit you. God damn, you know, time is running out. Time is running out, but yeah, time is not running out for anyone, but time is just running out. It's ticking away. Tick, 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 tick. At the same time, there's no time, but it slowly, it ticks away. Tick,
It
tick.
just seems to be. Oh,
No, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
there just seems to be a lot of like vulnerability in that in crying. Or at least for me, it's like it's so it just like it just feels so like I don't know, vulnerable. Like so because it's I don't know. That's just what it feels like here all of the time. So it's like I don't know. Because it's like just fully open, right? The show is cracked fully open and you just yeah.
I can see Marky Boy in the future, like becoming a very famous embrace your emotions teacher.
Where's your glass bowl? You have it somewhere hidden there?
I don't know, it's just innocently popping up here. No choice. What kind of thought is popping up? Just
Oh,
this,
yeah, totally.
just seeing this, like Marky Boy now in a way, playing with the emotions and falling in love with those beautiful emotions and with the crying, and yeah, what a beauty. I love it. Well, I also feel very vulnerable, by the way. You're not alone. And it's really not about you, sweetheart. It's not about me.
But what I do like about the meetings is just that nothing is wrong here. And I think I always felt something was wrong with how I felt or with me in general, and it's just nice to come here and not feel that, you know?
Yeah, beautiful. Yes, I like it, Mark, because Michael and I, we talked a lot about this, actually, exactly what you are saying. You know, here, you know, let's say there's just a so-called space, you know, everything is okay. There's nothing wrong with whatever, you know, crying. I mean, it's just, you know, it's totally okay. I mean,
And this directness, this is simply totally unknowable. Just tears coming out, sadness. Boom. So natural, so simple.
Yeah, here there's also a law for, you know, just the space where everything, you know, that's just simply what is, no matter what. Here there's not so much interest to correct or whatever, you know, to say it should be in this way or in that way or. Yeah, and there seems to be a place for that also. And liking that or not liking it is just already what is, equally. But many would, you know, people would lie if they say that they didn't once, at least once, had a thought about the ending of this or the ending, you know, or the sadness of losing people. You know, here there's no need to wipe it away with all these types of non-dual statements. For example, saying, well, Mark, there's nothing is happening, you know, there's just simply no interest in saying these types of things. Sadness is just sadness. And so to say here, there's no issue with sadness or crying or anger or frustration or that. And I'm not going to wipe stuff or smooth it out with some one-liners. Like saying you are not here, so why to worry? I mean, come on. It's just full on what is, and if there is sadness, there's just sadness. There's happiness, there's happiness.
And over here, it's like with sadness or the ending of things, which I've been dealing a lot with like a medical diagnosis a number of months ago that might end the life shorter than I thought, and people dying around me, that kind of stuff. That's happening, and there's a gift in there, in that, and the gift is if there is less time, or that I think there's less time, the gift in there, I think, is like, okay, well, if I have only this much more time with my wife or my son or my life or whatever, what is a different, there can be a different perspective on the life. And I've noticed, for me, my relationship with my wife, my son, my life, other people, my own perspective is dramatically shifted, because there's a gift there. It says, is not denying the sadness or the fear, is not a denial of any of that, but
No.
It's not just that that's what is. I'm going to say that's a gift. It's actually a gift. A gift. And so, so yeah, like what's being said is to be felt or fully experienced, or, you know, fully allowed or whatever, but not just for me. It's not just that. It's not just that. there's that and the gift that it is giving, that the all that is giving to all that is, which is us. So it's like a gift giving, the giver giving, the giver giving to the one who receives, and the one who receives getting the gift is the giving back to the giver. So it's just like really it's very beautiful. And yeah, and it's just happening. It's just happening. It's just happening. And it's you know, it's happening. And but it's, or if I can say here, if it's for me, if it's happening in the heart, this is where I'm coming from now. If it's happening in the heart, then it's like, oh, it's really happening. If it's happening in the head, like the mental understanding of non-duality, then it's like somebody said, then it's happening in the head. For me, that's not non-duality for me. But when this non-duality concept, whatever we're speaking of, is happening in the heart here, then it's like, whoa, then there's really nothing to say. You know, there's really nothing to say. It's like, then it's like love as a word, but it's felt, and it's here, and it's there, and it's everywhere. This is beautiful stuff. This is just unbelievable. And it's not, yeah, it's not non-duality, it's this, whatever in you, if there's a you, it's this, right? Whatever that is.
Yeah, yeah.
For you now, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if there was sickness going on there, to be honest. I never asked so directly. You know, there's a lot, I like you a lot, Don, and I was, yeah, there was an idea. Maybe there's some sickness going on there. You know, maybe, yeah, was playing her also. I never asked it directly, but yeah, now you seem to share. Yeah, I know, and every so-called one, you know, gets to deal, but there's no one separate dealing with sickness, you know, there's just a dealing with it. You know, there's a dealing with it, well, you have cancer and you don't have so much time, you know, then there's a dealing with it or not dealing with it, you know. But there's no one outside as a separate someone dealing with it. There's just the directness of what is. There can be even ideas, well, I have to deal with it in a certain way. I have to embrace it. And yeah, maybe some days it will be like that, you know, there's an embracement, you know, a so-called acceptance. And then other days there's maybe, god damn, you know, it's hitting you in the face. It comes, it's close, you know. You're almost counting days. It's just, yeah, it's beautiful. It's, you know, it's both beautiful and it's terrible at the same time, I would say. It's scary like fuck, and at the same time it's, yeah. It's raw. I mean, and yeah, like I said before, most people, you know, at one point, you know, there's no time, but at the same time, I would say, sooner or later, there will be a dealing with this types of natural things, you know, like death and sickness and health and pain and agony, devastation. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Don. While listening to you here popped automatically the idea of unconditional, even not love, but unconditional. What is? This can be in one moment love and in the other hate, resistance, sadness. Beautiful. Thank you.
Tony, lot of things going on there.
Yes.
Want to share?
Well, I want to say thank you also, no? All of you for the sharings. Really lovely and direct, simple and warm. And I would say, thinking about vulnerability, yeah, a thought arises, no? One could say that it's not vulnerability at all on the one hand, because in order to be vulnerability, there would have to be two. One which vulnerates and the other one that is vulnerable. But being not two, there's not vulnerability at all. Or we could say everything is vulnerability, not being two.
Yeah. I mean, there's just full-on vulnerability. There's not even a space left for the so-called you.
It's the same what you have said earlier about the word awareness or consciousness. No? It depends if everything is awareness, but it's this. I'm never tired about or never bored with the word or the sentence, all there is this. Because this is always new and always the same. Then I'm sometimes bored about some inner loops that still appear going on, even the own enthusiasm but this is never boring. Or another way to say it is the boredness is also this. And when all there is boredness, or all there is sadness, or all there is vulnerability, there's no more vulnerability, no more sadness, or no more boredness.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, beautiful, Tony. Somebody left a comment on one of my posts, said, Michael, aren't you bored of posting just this every day? My God. You know, basically he was saying, get a life. And you know, funny enough, as Tony's saying, and everybody here at this beautiful meeting, it's always fresh and new. It doesn't get boring. You think it would, but even boredom is this. It's just nobody's doing it. That's the freedom. It's impersonally this already.
Yeah, beautiful, Michael. Love it.
Yeah, I just don't get the issue with all these so-called problems. There seems to be, you know, with this or that. I mean, yeah, so getting bored, so what's the problem? I don't get it. Yeah.
Not
That,
getting it is also this.
yeah, of course. I mean, what else? Show me. Make me see it. Something else. At the same time, having all types of issues and, you know, reacting to posts and just asking, are you never getting bored with it? Is this already, you know, it's so innocent in a way. It's just a question. And anything can happen. You know, being fed up with your favorite porridge again or whatever, you know, your boyfriend, your man, your wife, your kids, your work. It can just simply happen, you know. Disappointment, being done with it. You know, here when there was a dream like working as a tourist guide with sled dogs, you know, and after a couple of years doing it, I was just completely finished with it, you know. There was, yeah, what once was a dream, so to say, at one point was just simply, there was no interest anymore. This can happen. We can say I was getting bored of it. Well, maybe, I don't know if it was boredom or not, but it doesn't really matter so much which word you use, so to say. It's just words, you know, labels, so to say. You can say there was no liking anymore. I was just bored with the work or bored with the working with dogs or whatever. This can just simply happen. As having an issue with it or not. So again, there's just whatever's happening, you know, having issues, having no issues, getting bored, not getting bored, but there's no one outside of what is happening. No one owning this. No one doing this as a separated you. It's all just simply the directness of what is. Sadness, intense sadness. Chris, what's
No.
up?
Oh, I don't know. There's kind of a heaviness that just kind of overcame me, I guess, once I was listening to Mark and Don on the topic of death, and I guess I guess it just kind of brought up a memory of a time when this too was going through the fear of death and how that felt, and it wasn't fun. It was probably one of the worst things that was gone through. You know, there was a fear of not having control over whether my children die before me. You know, or even this body too. You know, there was a time where I was convinced that I had cancer. I mean, it was a certainty in my mind. It was so real. Yeah, and you know, I just felt like there was this lump in my throat, and this being a smoker for 20 years it caused me to get cancer. And I mean, it just felt so real, to a point where, I mean, I literally thought I was actually going to die. And yeah, I mean, it was one of the worst feelings. So yeah, I'm sorry that if you can relate to that, Mark, and Don. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have anything really to say about it, but I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, it's you know, when we talked about a little bit before the recording about doing drugs, you know, DMT I heard, and so one day I was taking a lot of mushrooms, you know. I did this couple of years in the weekends. It was all pretty nice, you know, until the friends left and I was left alone, and it was still, you know, working. And I don't know if anyone has an experience with taking mushrooms, but it can be quite intense. And at one point, I was getting the idea that I was going to die. Your story reminded me, Chris. So I was in bed, you know, I was thinking, God damn, you know, I'm going to die. I was so sure that it was the end. Really, I was fuck, you know, this is it. God damn, this is the time, now I'm going to die. And there was an intense fear. And at one point, there was just a giving up, you know? Okay, that's it. This is it. That. And then slowly this intense fear just went away. And obviously I didn't die. But there was so, you know, I mean, God damn, I was really thinking I was going to die. It was scary, you know? Yeah. I mean, in a way, I would say, you know, everyone, you know, so-called everyone dies every night, you know? You go to bed, boom, dead. And then the next day, boom, life.
Brother, you asked if anyone can relate to your story.
Well,
So
tell me, Michael, please.
when I was more young and foolish than I am now, I was home alone in my apartment in Reseda, California. Came the bright idea I should take a bag of hallucinogenic mushrooms and dump them in a blender with orange juice and vodka.
Mhm.
This sounded like a party in a blender to me. So, you know, and you're home alone, so you're, after you blend it all up, you're just drinking straight from the blender. I mean, come on. And so obviously I began to spin, things began spinning, and I had to go lay down in my bed. And like Sander, I began having feelings of dread and fear and death, like I was going to die. In fact, I saw the famous, have you heard about this bright light you see? This light of love? Well, there it was. This overwhelming, and the tears began to flow. I'm like, as I'm being pulled toward this, the most brilliant love you've ever felt. I can't, it's like an atom bomb of just pure love. I'm like, that's God. I'm dying and I'm going to God. I was so stoked. So, as I'm getting pulled, right, the tears are, it's so dramatic. And then all of a sudden, I notice I'm not moving forward anymore. I'm begin going backwards towards the body. Shit, I'm not dying. I just knew it. I could feel that I was going back toward my body. And for years, that became a story called Michael's near-death experience. It was a great party story. You can whip it out. But it was just this. It's still this, no matter how dramatic, how death-defying. Death is not separate from this. Birth is not separate from this.
Fear is not separate from this.
Mm.
It's just what is, being fearful for that and hypochondriac, thinking you have cancer. Oh, goddamn, I'm sick. I get it. I got it also. Now I only have to go to the doctor to hear that I'm dying. Is this already, these fears may just simply arise.
Yeah, it's quite natural, really, right? It's quite natural, right? If you get a diagnosis of cancer, as I did, it's quite natural to have loss and your mortal life coming to an end and who you will never see again. And yeah, it's very natural to fear that.
Yeah, it just, this may sound quite negative, but at one point it's just your turn, so to say. I mean, I've been living with a lot of dogs, and their so-called life circle is quite short compared to people, where their lifespan is an average of, yeah, I would say between 10 and 14 years. You see a lot of generations passing by behind the house. You see them as puppy, and then, when they're sick, you see them dying. And at one point, the wondering is, well, at one point, it's going to be my so-called turn. I'm the one who's going to die. It's inevitable. That is it too. But yeah, like I said, there's no one separated, it never started for you, this. It doesn't end for you as a separated you and this, It didn't start for you as a separated you being separated from life, so to say, or this, or whatever you want to call it. So that is not for you as a separated individual being separated from life. So there's just this, and this will end, as far as it seems. But this will not end for you, nor does it begun for a separated you already.
Yeah, and there is death. It's just not your death. Nobody owns death.
And in a way, it's death and life at the same time, playing out. Breathing in so-called life and breathing out so-called death, or whatever you want to call it. Well, god damn, what a nice meeting, Cancer, death. Has anyone something nice to say tonight? It's
I love it.
yeah, I love it.
It's beautiful.
I'm joking.
I
I'm joking. I mean, anyone who is going to die soon or wants to share something.
Who can know this, sweetheart? What a stupid
Well,
question.
exactly. Well, it's funny because at least when the doctor's saying, well, you have cancer, you have the idea, well, probably I'm going to have a couple of months or years or whatever the statement is, but this can just suddenly end tonight.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes, in 10 seconds, in 2 hours, in 2 weeks, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Bummer. A bummer for no one, I would say.
I love to say there is no next. It's just this. What a beauty.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. No next. So Amor, you're
You're back again.
back again.
You're
Yeah.
back again.
Yeah, I went shopping and I'm on my way home. So I said, oh, why not jump in, you know? Give myself some entertainment on the way home.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you know, some nice stories about death and misery, fears.
Fun topic.
It's the way he loves it, like the shit show.
Yeah, you know, here there's also, I mean, for a long time there was like this curiosity for that. You know, this amazement, you know, this being interest in that. Maybe many of you know that most of the time when dogs are getting sick or cancer, I shoot them with a gun. It's quite directly, you know, it's and then I burn them behind the house and sit there for some time with my wife, and we talk about the time we had with this particular dog. You know, there's no way back. There's always a little bit like before there is a unsettledness, and then when it's done, you know. It's so direct, you know. It's just it's too obvious. It's over, you know. It's done.
I wonder if a tree sits and wonders about death, you know? Or if a tree is just a tree and then it just dies and that's that.
Yeah, it's so hard, you know. I try to talk with trees, but they don't seem to respond. You know, you can ask a tree, what the, you know, are you worried about that? Some seem to say that they can talk to trees, but yeah, at one point I give it a try, but yeah, nothing really happens, so to say. So either
That's
I'm having
just
the ability to.
any other thing that we say is living. It just comes so naturally, you know? The only living thing really throwing a fuss about death is humans.
Oh yeah, because you know, we had dogs together, you know, like father, mother, and their puppies for years, you know, and then one of the dogs dies, and they don't care less most of the time. Sometimes you would like to see a reaction, you know. Sometimes they kill each other even in a fight.
You've had dogs kill each other.
Sorry.
You've had dogs kill each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, this can happen, you know, when we had a lot of dogs. At one point there were like 8,500 dogs like that, and then, you know, when the females are in heat, when you have 7-8 dogs fighting, yeah, one dog can get killed. Yes.
Well, that's intense.
Well, that's quite intense, but in a way they don't seem to be bothered, you know. They're not bothered about it. It's not like they sit in a corner and, oh my god, what did I do now? I killed my brother, or I killed my nephew here, shit, you know. No, you give them food, they start eating directly after the death of the killing a dog, you know. It just continues as. They don't
I
seem
didn't
to.
know if Mark was still on or not, but I just something kind of came up that I thought about when I was kind of going through that period of fear of death. I think at that point I finally kind of gave in and be like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna go see a therapist. So and so that's what I did. I mean, and it did seem to help you know, just kind of alleviate, even if it was temporary. I know that's not very non-dual advice, but
Oh, that's
I think sometimes that's needed too, and there's nothing wrong with it either. So
well, here there seems to be a misunderstanding, you know. When you say this is not non-dual advice, well, no, it's you know how you mean not non-dual advice, because
well,
there
I
is
just don't hear it very often in
yeah,
non-dual.
yeah, you don't hear it a lot, but there is already just simply what it is. It's already not to. You know, giving advice is already just simply giving advice. It's already not to. There's no one separated doing the advice giving. Even saying, you know, there's nothing not non-dual about anything already, so to say. It's already just simply what it is. You know, as
There-
is excusing, you know, and thinking it's not so non-dual to give somebody advice, you know. There's just simply no separated someone giving the advice and as a separated advice giver. That's just giving advice. That's it. It's already just what it is.
there may appear to
And
be
this is
there
sorry,
may
Amor.
there may appear to be dogma in the non-dual
Yeah,
community teachings
yeah,
and something to learn,
yeah.
but it's not. There's actually nothing to learn already. There's no teachings. There's no dogma. There's already nobody separate from what is doing anything already. So I mean, if you got to go see a therapist and you want to give people advice to go see a therapist, then so be it.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. It's just simply what is. There's already no separated doer of whatever is happening, you know. And this is also a little bit like Amor is saying, you know, in some meetings you seem to be corrected, you know, you cannot give someone advice. At the same time, giving advice is this too, you know, saying, you know, God damn, you go to a therapist, you know. If there's someone in your surrounding, you know, playing with the thought, you know, which is just already just this, killing himself or herself, you know, you're a fucking moron if you say that nothing is happening. At least that is just simply how it seemed here, you know. I mean, you know, and at the same time, it's also just this, you know, saying to your friends who want to take their life and saying that there's not a me able to do that, you know, that's it too, of course. But at the same time, it's just what's happening. You know, here, so to say, everything is, it's already just this. It's already not to. Giving advice is already not to. It's already, there's already no separated you giving advice or taking advice. I get the trying to excuse, because this seems to be an issue in some meetings that you're not allowed to say those things. Well, fuck it.
Yeah, I think that's why Amar's video the other day resonated so much with Moshi. Yeah, I mean, like,
You
yeah,
know,
he said there's a lot of a dogma, and I think there was always this idea that, you know, I needed to be a certain way, I needed to speak a certain way, I needed to be careful about what I said, and there's just a lot of like not really giving a shit about that anymore. You know, and I think and finally the Chris character is kind of allowed to just speak freely, you know,
yeah.
not under this non-dual dogma or belief system. Yeah, I mean, just don't. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's funny, you know, talking about it's all unconditional love, and then at the same time not being allowed to say certain stuff, for me it's just a load of crap. You know, it's just what is. At the same time.
Yeah. But I've been having a lot of fun with it the past few days. Just being this character. I forgot how cool Chris was.
Yeah.
There is no Chris anymore.
Oh, yeah.
No,
You know-
I mean, I'm embracing the character. You know, I really don't care about the, you know, whether there's anyone here or not. Really, I don't really even know what that means. But yeah, I mean, there's just this character here. I think he's been suppressed for quite a while. I remember where, you know, there was a time where he used to be pretty funny, you know, and he used to like to talk a lot, and yeah, and I don't know why that was suppressed, really, but
So that was so beautiful, Chris. I thank you so much. The honesty and I mean, you know, it's like if there is a non-duality, whatever, that was it. What was just happening there on your screen. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And it's also what you just said, Don. That's also non-duality. It's all just, like Sander says, just this. Just whatever here to arise is it. And it doesn't matter what it may appear to look like. It's already it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it too, what you just said. Also.
Giving each other compliments. I love it.
Rosa with her twerking fingers. That's just it. And Sander with his smiling face. Just it. Maybe it's just all this, huh?
I say that it's all just bullshit, or this times, I guess.
Yeah, beautiful. Yes. Yeah, totally. Amor, Don, Chris. Yeah, I mean, there's just a uniqueness at the same time. It's, you know, just bodies performing certain activities, producing sounds. Either they are loved or not loved, or hate or not hated. Just what is.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you to everybody for the honesty shared here. So it's really stunning.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah. I love it. I just love it.
I love it too.
Judith, sweetheart. You're muted.
Let us hear your lovely voice.
Now.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, just what's happening, right?
Right.
I mean, who can escape it? Just looking at these beautiful faces, drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee and wishing there was more.
So naturally.
And, yeah. Just happening.
Yes.
You know? And when there is no kind of like dealing with, oh, it's happening to me, then it's just what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, it's just happening anyway, whatever. So it's beautiful.
Nice.
Nice.
Unescapable, beautiful life. And with everything in it. Yeah.
Yeah. This I call simple. Boom.
Look, there he is.
Ah,
Yeah. Such a beauty.
There's a Morse guru.
He missed me. Though. You know, I never thought I would ever have a pit bull, but when I got them, I realized they're the most loving dogs that you could have. They really are. They're
That's what I hear, yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful with dogs, animals.
I'm getting this image over here that's like I'm thinking how each how the meetings have different flavors to them. This meeting, Michael's meeting, and Kosi's meeting, and I go to Suzanne's meeting, you know, all these different meetings. They all have a different flavor. And so my thing is that this like non-duality, whatever that is like Baskin Robbins ice cream with 31 flavors. And it's all available. It's all available. There's no distinction, you know, between them. It's all just sitting there. And it's just when you're there, I choose Rocky Road or I choose, you know, mint chip, but it's all one. It's one. It's not, one's not better than the other. It's all available and you can do whatever you want. So in this world of non-duality, you can go see a therapist. You can go take mushrooms. You can go do yoga and meditate, and you can do whatever you want to do. But there's just one. There's just like all of it, and so this is like a chocolate chip. This meeting here is chocolate chip. You know, Michael's is something different. I'll wait till Wednesday night and I'll let you know what flavor his meetings are.
could be oatmeal raisin. Could be.
Feels more like Rocky Road.
Yeah,
Nice, Don. Beautiful.
such a joy. Yeah, nice to see you, Don, again. I missed you the last 2 times, I guess. I was wondering, you know, what's happening with him.
Well, so sometimes I hate this stuff, so I don't come.
Yeah, you know, that was coming up. Probably, you know, it's so you know, probably he's watching Netflix. You know,
I hate mint ice cream too, Don.
last time you were watching Netflix and the meeting at the same time, so I was guessing, well, he just, you know, Netflix seems to be more important. So yeah, beautiful. Well, guys, there's not so much words coming up actually. There's just appreciation, you know, to share this yeah, whatever, you know, life, this time, the so-called time, the so-called moment, the so-called Zoom meeting with you, you know, with you all. And there's a lot of appreciation, really, for the directness and the honesty. And, you know, it's just, yeah, you can almost get emotional, you know.
But sweetheart, that's why we are here, because of this.
Yeah, probably. It's hard to say. But yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Loving Sander-Open-Zoom and beautiful. So next Tuesday, again, an open Zoom. Boom.
Well, let's see, you know, I'm not promising anything.
I want to nail you.
Anything may happen, but yeah, let's see. But yeah, thank you all. Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful day, night, morning.
Lots of gratitude.
Thank you.
Love ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Mwah.
Love you all.
Bye.